All right, I think this video was a long time coming. We're talking about Android 21 and everything that you should know and everything that's interesting that most likely people who didn't actually tell you should have told you. But anyways, we'll start with the things that I didn't really know. So we're going to start with her actual human form. Sadly, we don't even know her name, which is pretty weird because apparently we know her husband's name. And her husband actually is Dr. Giro. Whoa. It's like, yeah, so our husband is actually Dr. Giro, and she had a child with him. It's like, whoa, really? It's like, yep, yeah, she had a child together, and it turns out that the child actually died during battle. So Dr. Giro decided to say, hey, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to build an android in his honor. So that's why in the Android saga or Android version, yeah, I'm just going to say the Android version. That's why she actually really wanted Android 16 by her side because to her, he was like family. And of course, it's kind of crazy in all those scenarios. Android 16 still actually had to die again. Wow, that sucks. So with that said, basically eventually something crazy happened to where she went from being human all the way to being experimented on and never actually truly there anymore. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's a weird concept. Still trying to understand that part, but sadly she is not exactly like Android 17 and 18 where they just modified on her body. I think she is completely gone as a person, but she was used as a structure to actually create the brand new Android, Android 21. Now, here's the interesting part that you most likely didn't hear around the world. Well, anyone is that with Android 21, she is exactly like Cell. So basically, apparently, remember those fly things that we saw in the Cell saga? Yeah, it turns out that they were still collecting data even then. So they basically got, of course, they already have the blueprints for Cell. The interesting part is that they also somehow, at some point, got a piece of DNA from Majin Buu. Considering that the flies were actually there and they saw the whole thing, let's just say that they might have saw the whole entire thing instead of just flying off because, well, technically it did fly off and they didn't even know, like Dr. Zero didn't even know that, holy crap, Goku has a new power up or Goku can turn Super Saiyan. It's like, yeah, you didn't really get that part. So I guess it might have been that same exact scenario where they must have missed the part of where, holy crap, Boo separated and turned into an evil version and a good version. Let's just say they most likely didn't miss it. If they didn't miss it, then that means one thing. That means that they basically took a misjudgment and not even put that in consideration of that could happen when it comes to fusing that DNA into this brand new android. And that's really the funny part of where it comes to the play is the fact of, okay, so you're telling me that you took the DNA of Boo, but you never looked all the way to the very end to be like, well, it looks like the DNA is unstable, or we should basically figure out what to do because, well, he has a curbing hunger, along with he's might be able to be split in half. And they also have to figure out how exactly can we stop her from being split in half. Interesting enough, only in the Android arc or saga, or Android version, she splits in half. That's the only time. And of course, you could actually notice that in Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Z Kai is very easy to grab your hands on right now. You could actually notice that you're able to tell what set Boo off to make him split into two. Boo was able to say, okay, I won't kill anymore. But sadly, a dumb idiot who actually is a rich billionaire or millionaire got a shotgun and actually tried to shoot Boo, but instead shot the puppy that he revived. Now that tore him in half because he promised not to kill ever again, but this guy sure did. And that triggered the fact of splitting Boo into good Boo and the evil Boo. Of course, you can notice that in the Android version, there's the same exact idea that Android 16 got destroyed by her own hand. And that freaking traumatic situation there was able to actually split her in half as well. So it's like, yeah, there's one thing they really need to do is make sure that she can get into that exact thing. But of course, that only happened in the Android's saga or Android's version, and didn't even happen in the other two, which is heroes and villains. Just thought it's a good idea to keep that in mind. So when it comes straight down to it, Android 21 actually came to life apparently within 10 years. But I do have to actually nitpick. It's like, yeah, there's like some nitpicking, which I don't want to nitpick. I love the game. I love the story of the game. Those three stories are remarkable and beautiful. But sad to say, it is kind of something where it's like, I think it took 20 years for Cell to truly be developed. How exactly did it take like some months or so for Android 21 to be developed? I'm just saying, there's something that doesn't pan out right now. Not at all. But okay, sure, why not? It's like, sure, I just have to throw it away and not even think about it. Whew. Okay, so basically, when it comes to Android 21, all the way from beginning to end, there's three possibilities, which basically, in all three, we already know that she was responsible in a way to sending a signal out along with separating the player from their body. And in some cases, we actually find out that she has an uncurving hunger. And this hunger, which thanks to Majin Buu, is really something very, very horrible to actually deal with. And in some cases, she curves her hunger. And in other cases, she actually just basically did it so she can get hungry and basically feel her hunger. Of course, those clones came from it in some detail. Some of the clones actually were, well, I guess 2 out of 3, the clones were made so she could actually have a feast and get powerful. But of course, it gets different when it comes to the Android saga, where it's like they have to protect her and have to make sure that she's okay. But sadly, eventually, she gets to the point of where she turns evil, and then her true form is revealed. As soon as her true form is revealed, that's when all hell breaks loose. In every single one, all hell breaks loose when her real form is revealed. And personally, that's when I got in love with her. But at least with the Android saga, the Android version, you actually get to have deeper, interesting stuff in there. Like, for instance, she actually is merely 10 years old. But for those who are like, oh, jailbait, it's like, no. Just she has been developed for 10 years. That doesn't mean crap. He's basically trying to say, oh, well, the person that she is designed from is 10 years old, that's a total lie. It's like, no, it's just that there's just some different things going on here, but still the person that we know is still kind of modeled from the original person that exists in some way, shape, or form, meaning that you saying, oh, jailbait is a total lie and totally a big stretch. So how about you sit down for a second? Sit down. So yeah, there's lots and lots of stuff that talk about her is the fact of she's able to eventually get to the point of going against her evil self in Android version. And basically she had to do the ultimate sacrifice. It's amazing that in all 3 versions, sadly, Android 21 also had to die. She either died because she was already completely crazy yet again, and her evil version somehow is able to hold on when it comes to the spirit bomb, which is like, whoa, even Kid Buu couldn't do that. I mean, Jiren was able to do even better, but Kid Buu, however, he got destroyed with that freaking wave. But of course, technically, in some cases, some people will say, but it was the super spirit bomb, not a regular spirit bomb. It's like, oh, well, dang it. Like, oh, well, dang it then. But yeah, sadly, in this case, you actually had to take the good version of Android 21, and she actually did a wrestling move and took out 21, the evil version, wiping them both out. Of course, it's bittersweet because in all three of them, I wish there was a fourth case where it's like Android 21 lives, but sadly, no. The good news is that she will get wished back, but the interesting part is wishing her back. Are you going to wish the good version of her back, or is it the case of she's going to be complete again, but this time her hunger is caved or she's normal again? I'm not sure. But she's going to be wished back in Dragon Balls, but sadly, we don't get to see that. And that's where I'm like, that's kind of sad. I would really like to actually see at least the wish happen, and there she is. She's alive again. Well, that's basically it, isn't it? That's exactly it about Android 21 that you should actually know. So Android 21 is a capable version, person, but the other versions of herself, the hero version, the evil villain version, all two of those are basically just her being evil. That's it. Her being completely evil. As for the Android version, we actually get to see a deeper meaning of herself, where she actually shares lots and lots of stuff with us, which that's pretty awesome that she did that. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, like she's actually a person. But it's like, yeah, but it was very awesome that we actually got to know more about her, even though I was rooting for her to stay alive. I was rooting for her to stay alive, but no. The weirdest part has to be the fact of apparently when she's turned into a Majin form, her real form, she can't turn back to human form. I'm just asking. I'm just asking for myself. Can she actually not turn back to human form? I'm just asking. But we'll end it with this certain thing of what would have happened if she did survive. If she did survive, we had like at least two things where one thing I was like, no, Piccolo, no, that's not how it goes. No, Piccolo. So when it comes straight down to it, is if she stayed alive, she actually was going to research more. She was going to continue being a researcher. She's going to research how to actually curb her hunger, and eventually she'll try to figure out how exactly can she take her ability and help others. That's basically it. Now, here's the part that I have to say, that's kind of what the heck, is the fact of the whole hunger idea. I mean, think about it. We have Boo and Evil Boo, or Boo and another Boo. The other Boo is completely hungry and crazy as hell. The Boo that we already had, even though right now, watching Dragon Ball Z Kai, as soon as he was separated, we didn't see him saying, I'm hungry too, let's go and attack people. No, we didn't see that. We didn't see that at all. Boo's hunger already curved, man. It's like Boo's hunger didn't go to the point of where he's going crazy. Not really. I mean, yes, he's hungry, but he doesn't turn people into anything. Means that you can actually curb your hunger once your evil side was gone, Android 21. And Piccolo's like, oh, but the hunger can come back in her. And it's like, really? Don't we already see what happened with Boo? Do we see Boo going berserk and saying, oh, his hunger is going crazy? The correct answer is no. It looks like chances are when it comes to the evil version, the evil part of you, as soon as she separates from the person or he separates from the person, then the hunger is curved. The only messed up part now is that the evil version is the one that's got to get dealt with. And it's pretty interesting that along the way you actually hear the fact of, oh, are they connected? Does that mean if one gets taken out, the other one gets taken out? And it's like, well, even though in this case we didn't actually get her absorbed, which that's like the fun part of where it's like, ah, oh, this is completely different, is that when it comes to Majin, or at least Majin Buu, the other Buu actually absorbed the original Buu and became powerful and changed form. Which I'm now pretty curious of what happens if It that happened. But as you can see, is that they're not connected even then because, well, I'm just saying if the other Boo was fighting Boo and they were connected, we would already saw that he had damage already happening to him. But the damage never showed up. So for you to say, well, they were in the freaking lookout too. It's like they were in the lookout. They would have noticed that, oh, Boo's taking damage from the other Boo. It's like, yeah, Piccolo, you kind of look like an idiot right now. But anyways, this is just one that I wanted to do. Thank you for watching, folks. Hopefully this actually is something very interesting to listen to and maybe even watch. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm going to just, I don't know. I just don't know.